Ladies and gentlemen, I have waited for so long for Vanguard to release the soundtrack, the OST of Will Dress and Overdress. All of my deck names on Dear Days were begging for it. I was just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And this whole time that I waited, they decided to drop it on the day that I moved into my new apartment. And then I was busy for several days moving in and simply did not have time to make any content about it. But luckily, that gave me time to really listen to the soundtrack. And so today, we are tasking ourselves with the most important task together with Chad, which is to tier the tracks in the OAD OST. So today, we are taking the most important task in the history of Vanguard, which is to decide which of these tracks are the best and which are the worst. Spoiler alert, there's no bad tracks, but we have to do it, and together with chat, we will do it. So I am also slightly risking things here because I do not know if the OST will get hit by copyright stuff, but hopefully not because it's a card game OST, and let's find out. So we're gonna go in order of the album and listen to things. So the first thing is Yu Yu's Season 1 track, which is He Said. So let's quickly give it a listen. Not gonna listen to the whole thing, but just enough to get a feel, right? So, you know, if you've watched the anime, if you've listened to the soundtrack, you kind of know this, like, you know, the vibe of it. It's like a very, it feels more like a Nirvana vibe than a Yu Yu vibe. The vocals are really nice. I think it's like, it's a solid. Yeah, it smells like overtriggers. Chat saying S, A. Chat wants to rate this pretty high, but high B, mid, low A. We're seeing a bit more A's. Low A, at least A. All right. We're seeing a lot of A's, some B's. The scene is good but not great. I kind of feel the same way. We do a poll? Okay, we can let chat decide. We'll do a poll. This part. This part is like an S. This part feels like an S. But the rest of it, I don't know if I would say that's necessarily... if that's necessarily anything else. I will let chat vote. Chat can vote on what they think, whether it's S, A, or B. We've kind of established that it's one of the top three. It looks like chat thinks it's an A, and I think I'm of a similar mindset. I think I would put the first Yu Yu theme somewhere here. It's like somewhere in A. If we order it, don't think I put it as like number 1 in A. I feel like we need an A+ and A-. I think you're right. I think we're not gonna have any F tracks, so let's just adjust it. We can do A+, and we can do an A-, and then we can have a B. And then if there's really an F, we can put it in there, but I kind of doubt it. Alright, but unfortunately, for the rest of the competition, we're about to enter some tough competition. This is... I'm sorry, I don't even have to ask chat. This is my personal S tier, bro. It's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. There's no dialogue, bro. This is like triple S. This is like the top of the top. There is no other way. A+? Nah. Not for me. This is an S. This is a good song. Like, this is one of my favorite tracks of the entire soundtrack that I would personally listen to like over and over and over again. And probably the song that I waited for the most. Like, this is the song that I wanted from the soundtrack the most, together with a couple others. The little like shouting in the back as well is like so good. Like, this was like episode 1. This is the song that got people into the anime, I think. I want to say that this scene that this played in is what's responsible for getting people into the anime. It's so good. But let's not linger on it for too long. Get to Megumi. Make a Splash. So, I had relatively low expectations of this track. My expectations were relatively low, but after I listened to it, I really liked it. Alright, let's ask Chad what is the tier for Megumi. I can actually put all the options in here. I'll give them a minute. Doesn't fit her. Doesn't play enough. Yeah, I guess it plays a couple of times. I like it because of the generic anime opening. People outing themselves. Alright, chat is pretty split between A- and B. A few people saying mid. I don't think this track is mid. But I think it's definitely around like here somewhere. But people are like deciding between these two. And B is winning a little bit. A- is barely ahead now. Reminds you of Totsugeki? Yeah, it does sound like Mei's theme from Strive. Reminds me of a mid-2000s character song in a good way. Yeah, this reminds me of me watching like the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya back when I was in school. And then listening to the Haruhi Suzumiya like character songs. And it sounds a lot like Mei's theme. For those of you that have never heard Mei's theme, I should probably put that up. It does sound very similar. Heavy 2006 vibes, yeah. It sounds a lot like it. It definitely has a lot of similarity. Alright, enough. This song gives me trauma. You know what doesn't give me trauma though? This next track. Oh my god. Now this is where I'm not sure how I would order them. SRLs, oh, 100%. Honestly, I think it's not an overreaction to say the OST was released just to get the song. I love Calafina, yeah. Hard S, 100%. 100%. This is not long enough. That is a valid criticism, actually. The song is indeed not long enough. Silent Bark is 3.5 minutes. This song is 1 minute 58. It's the shortest song in the entire soundtrack. But I feel like if it was too long, as for budget Calafina, I agree. But this part, it's so good. I think the one thing that I'm not sure about that I'll let chat decide, Mide or Danji for S. So Mide above or Danji above. What do we think, chat? Should the #1 track so far be Mide's or Danji's? Because I'm not sure. I like them both equally. I actually like both of these tracks equally. I think they're both amazing. Sibling fight. Yeah. It's fitting that they're both up here. But yeah, and also it's very short. Definitely the shortness of the track definitely leaves a little bit to be desired. Just a little bit. Alright, chat's voting for Danji to stay above. It's just leading by a little bit. Leading by just a little bit. The longer one gets S. That's valid actually. Danji's track is long, so you have more to listen to. Mire's is pretty short, so I guess like that actually does kind of like give reason enough to keep Danji's above. Next one is the second Yu theme called Caution. So this one is also sung by Motonori Kitai, which is the same as Silent Bark. So it's the same as Danji's theme. Easy S. Alright. Reminds me of Digimon? Yes. This song reminds me of like late 2000s Digimon. Very much so. It definitely has like Digimon Shinka! Like And it kind of fits that it's like Trickstar and Verena usually crossover dressing to this theme. Damn, we get a B vote in here. I mean, we can do a proper poll. This one feels like a complete song, you know? But the thing is that as a character theme, like, keep in mind that when you're evaluating these themes, you have to keep in mind, does this represent the character to you, right? When I hear the Mirei theme, I'm like, yep, that's Mirei. When I hear the Danji theme, yep, that's Danji. When I hear Yu-Yu's first theme, I'm like, yep, that's Yu-Yu. But when I hear this, I wouldn't necessarily say this is Yu-Yu's theme. This is just a battle theme to me. And I feel like they just had to put Yu-Yu's face next to it. Personally, it's more of a battle theme. But let's have a vote. Have a vote and see. The XOD theme, I suppose, yeah. If we call it the crossover dress theme, and we just put... If we put Verena in here instead of Yu-Yu, I guess it would be a bit more. But let's have a vote. We have a lot of people voting for S. Quite a few voting for A- as well. But yeah, this is a very Digimon-y song. I feel that. I feel that. Damn, it's between S and A-. What a battle. So right now we're in between these. Somewhere in between these. For the final vote. A- is actually leading though. A+ has quite a few votes too, but it's looking a little tight. A- is too low. I would be fine with putting it here. We're in A+. Zakusa's theme? I wouldn't really see a Zakusa's theme either. Alright, A- won the votes, but S was 1 vote behind. Oh, hold up, that's too early. I think we'll take a middle ground and give it the A+. I'm also kind of, if I was personally putting it here, I would put it in A+. I like it. I think for Matonori Kitai's themes, I like the Danji one more. I think it has more punch. This one is just like a very Digimon-y song, but the Danji one is like, ugh, like it's strong, you know? And it doesn't feel as much of a character theme, I guess. So I'm not sure how I would order these. Maybe I like this one a bit more. So we'll put it there. But next, I know a lot of people are very excited about this one. This one is Michiru's theme. And this one is by the same artist as Mirei's theme, but it's 3.5 minutes long. Or it's 3 minutes long. We're getting a lot of S's, and I'm willing to agree. Higher than Mirei, okay, wow. Alright, so we all agree. I'm gonna change up the vote a little bit. Is it S? S number 1? A- or B? I'll give it a bit of a longer vote time. Higher than Mirei because longer. It fits Michiru, but more importantly, it fits Rejeweled. Yeah, it fits both of them, right? Alright, let's see. Would you vote? Yeah, the Calafina vibe on this one is also very good. It's very, very good. It's strong. This part bangs, yeah. This one is like a Dark Souls boss a little bit. Like a Dark Souls boss theme is what I hear it as, and that's what Toya's one is like too. Or like Nier, yeah. Oh, this part too. This part is really good. This one is more like anime boss fight music. Yeah, so all the other tracks so far felt like tracks, like actual like songs. This one is like an actual soundtrack for a fight, right? This feels like an actual fight soundtrack, whereas the other ones have felt like songs. I think of this like an extension of Mirei's song. Yeah. Fire Emblem. Yeah, I think Toya's one has more of a Fire Emblem boss feel to me. But this one definitely does have a bit of that Fire Emblem feel. But I think Toya's one is more Fire Emblem final boss. And you'll see what I mean when we get to the end. Alright, looks like everyone's saying S is going to be the placement. I'm willing to put it there. And I think it does go above Mirei's. Although I really love Mirei's. I think that we've agreed that he's not number 1, but we can put him high enough. He gets a point over Mides for being longer. It's such a good thing, dude. What a good track. What a good track. But the one after this? Uh-oh. It's time for the edgelord. It's time to see everyone's tastes. Mid-match chest. Alright. Here it is. Damn, we have like mids, triple S. This is by far the most controversial one. Me when the rock starts breaking, dude. I just looked at a rock on the ground and it started exploding. What the hell's going on, dude? This is the most controversial one, for sure. Rock tier. We have a lot of S's. Okay, we have a lot of S's. For your interest, on Spotify, this is by far the most played track in the soundtrack. Followed by Yu's first theme, but that's partially because that's the first song in the CD. So that's automatically the first one that you normally play. But this is by far the most played song. It's by far the most played and the most popular. The one after, he said, is Silent Bark. After that is Erkiglad, which is Mides. And after that is Caution and Vidal. Oh yeah, no, actually... Huh. Toya is by far the least played. That's almost surprising. But are you still voting S for this? I'm not a big, like, death metal fan. So, like, the growls and stuff is not really my thing. I know that Maxime would love this. Listen to this almost every day. Alright, you guys are dedicated. I'll give it... I personally would not... I think, to me, I'm gonna add my personal opinion here. As much as I like Breaking the Rock, I also agree it's an S. The song itself is an A, but every scene of it is S. That's a good point. As much as I like the theme myself, I don't like it more than these three. So I think I would put it to the bottom of S. I would put it to the bottom of S because these other three are just way more powerful in my opinion. All right, next is Urara. So this one's called Future Will Come. So at first people thought it's sung by Urara's voice actors, but it's not. It's sung by the same person that sings Yu's first name. A for Ayaya. But no, it's not Kagami Karin singing this. Mid A minus. I do, as much as I like Urara, you know, she's definitely a big star of my thumbnails. I don't rate this one very high. I wouldn't call it mid, but it's definitely not like S or anything. But it's a very nice, like, refreshing theme, but if I'm listening to, like, refreshing music, I'd rather listen to something else. Like, if I'm, like, sitting down with the intent of listening to, like, Vanguard, OST, and, like, getting hyped to play Vanguard, this isn't the one, you know? I think it's, like, it's an A minus. It's not a bad song. Personally speaking, it's not a bad song. But yeah, every time, the usage of the song in the anime is very good. Because every time the song is used, it's very well timed, and it's very memorable. So I personally think it's like A minus. I think Megumi's theme, I might even put it above Megumi's theme actually. Yeah, it very strongly fits Urara, that's for sure. If we're thinking about the character, it definitely fits her very well. And I like this part a lot. The instrumental part is very nice. So I'm excited to talk about Toya next because this is going to be the one. This will be the one. Into the cemetery, that's right. Toya's theme, I think my opinion might be a bit different from the rest of y'all, but let's hear it. Here it goes. It takes a bit to warm up. It takes a little bit to get into its engine, but it's a very soundtracky track. It takes a bit to get there, but this is like a Fire Emblem final boss track. Fire Emblem out of 10. This is like, this could literally be like the final boss track of any Fire Emblem. Like, it's pretty Echoesy. Yeah, it's pretty like Fire Emblem Echoesy, I'd say. In particular, Echoes. Echoes had a lot of tracks like this. I should show you guys Twilight of the Gods. Hold up. I guess Three Houses a little bit too. This part is like, it's good. Dun dun dun. All right, let's vote on it. Toya, S, A+, A-, B, or mid. I feel like people listen to the first few seconds and go like, ah, it's mid. But then it's like, you listen to the whole track and it's like, whoa, what is this? All right, S is leading. I'm willing to put it in S. I might even put it above Raika, to be honest. But that's also because I love Fire Emblem, so like anything that sounds like Fire Emblem, I'm like super biased towards. Telia's boss theme? Yeah, like if Path of Radiance had a remake, I could hear this. But yeah, this one. All right, looks like we vote S. I agree. I think I'll put it together with Raika. I guess the chat will probably get mad if I put it above Raika, but the resemblance to me to this is crazy. Like, it's like an edgier version of Twilight of the Gods. Echoes the goat. What was the name of Berkut's theme? It's the one with the organ, right? Pride and arrogance. Oh. Yeah, true. Yeah. Your Excellency! Oh, God! Yeah, true. I get the vibes. Yeah, true. Toya's theme does feel like this one. I love it. So good. In the end, we didn't need the mid or B tier. True. I think Megumi was close. I feel like Megumi's on thin ice. Megumi's a bit on thin ice. Alright, so, as you can see, we have a clear winner, a clear winning track, and a clear, decisive tier list. But of course, all opinions are, you know, it's up to you. It's up to what you think of the soundtrack yourself. But I personally would rank it this way. I think it's a pretty good way. I feel like if you ask me without listening, I would probably put Mire's track higher, but this one definitely is a very, like, Michiru's is very, very strong. Very, very good track. And so, make sure you listen to the OST of Overdress and Will Dress. It is out on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, everything. Every platform possible, I think. And it's out worldwide too, so it's not just limited to Japan or anything. So, thank you to chat for participating in this ranking, and thank you to viewers for checking it out. If you like this video, do give it a like. If you want more random tier lists or actual proper tier lists of the meta, let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube channel member or subscribing on Twitch to support what I do. Otherwise, that's me for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.